from the slums of Southside Jamaica. We bring you the, well, I guess it's only 2 chambers out of that 36. But I guess we're not part of that original 36. We're part of the, kind of like the NBA 75. We're part of that.
The 72nd chamber.
All day, baby. All day. You know what I'm saying?
Well, in this here chamber, we're the Triple P's. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so glad to have you. I missed you so much.
We missed you, baby.
Welcome back, ladies, gentlemen, non-binary royalty, Schmiz Mars. Shout out to y'all.
You know what I'm saying? And all my glip glops.
Especially them.
Holla
Especially my glip glops. Here we are on a very pleasant, what is it now, Wednesday morning? As a time of recording?
It's a wicked Wednesday. One of the wickedest, if I must say so myself. It's definitely a, I won't call it a hot boy summer, but it's definitely a hot summer.
Certainly a hot one today.
Well, today or tomorrow is going to be hotter.
Yeah, and I guess that's appropriate considering we're going to talk about a hot boy doing hot boy shit.
Or just a old nigga doing incredibly random and outlandish shit, but you know, verbiage is everything.
That's what he be, man. If you haven't figured, well, you can't figure it out. You're not in our brains. If you haven't figured it out already, we're gonna talk more about Vince McMahon, like we did in Hardcore Correspondent, excuse me.
Vince McMahon, aka Sweet Dick Vinny.
apparently, just handing it out and handing out all these checks to everybody who needs them.
You know what I'm saying?
So I guess more things have come to light. I believe still from the Wall Street Journal, if not, because I don't think
Wall Street Journal, New York Times,
all the publications, because I don't think
major fucking publications.
No, nothing legal is happening yet. Anyway, I guess they're gathering evidence or a case.
A case is being built. Yes.
Yeah. As I mentioned last time in Hard Correspondent. Again, I'm not a lawyer. I don't know the legal particulars of how this would work, but again, I can't help but wonder how curious the shareholders are about what Vince McMahon is doing. Again, not that the wild things Vince McMahon have done have been really a secret. It's just, we had to always attach allegedly to it. And
well, I mean, oh shit, the shareholders are the shareholders. We can touch base with a lot of our listeners / viewers by just throwing in this factual shit. Netflix was about to do a full documentary on Sweet Dick Vinny, but once all these allegations came out, Clip City, baby, Clip City, and again, we're talking about a production that took millions of dollars to they clearly had mad interviews, all types of.
They had plans, they had footage, probably.
Millions of dollars, and Netflix said, "Nah, son.
Nah, we can't risk it."
Netflix said they ain't got no time for Sweet Dick Vinny.
I mean, why would you? They're still struggling to survive a little bit. You don't want to hitch your wagon to that man.
Unless you're a Vinnie Mac loyalist.
Of which there are many. And I guess being one gets women past you like a toy, quote unquote.
The illegal paralegals.
So, what do you make of it? I mean, in case y'all don't know, I guess the gist of it is more than the supposed, I guess, $3 million was reported paid out to not only
the original story.
Yeah, from the original story, more than 3 million.
3 million. Well, towards the end of it, it was 3 million initially paid out to the illegal paralegal who got hired without even ever filling out any type of fucking application or sending any type of resume. She started off at 100,000. She clearly liked what she had with Vince, and they bumped up to, well, Vince wanted to bump her up to about 300,000, but clearly that would have raised a couple of eyebrows. So they went to the 200,000 range, and I guess Vince got tired of her, and that's when he lobbed her off to Laurinaitis, or the people power, or the power of the people, however you want to look at it. And I mean, we can speculate a lot of different shit. I know how what's Vince's lawyer's name, Jerry McDevitt.
Yeah.
Now, again, there's no case, there's no trial. Look, if it was just her, Vince would have got off scot-free, because they would have just shaped that. They would just been like, she got jealous, so on and so forth. She wasn't dealing with Vince. A lot of different shit.
Yeah, they could have smeared her. They could have just made her.
If it was just her. Now that these other women, especially the one female wrestler that allegedly came out with these again allegations. There's especially her story, because her story is that her story is that Vince, Sweet Dick Vinny, coerced her into some oral sex.
Allegedly.
Now listen, I mean, I get it, dudes of power, they do what they do, they threaten your job, but at the same time, I don't necessarily know how you're coerced into sucking dicks.
I mean, you said it right there. Just a dude in power. They control your job. They control your livelihood.
Which is fine. But yeah, that's fine. But you don't have to suck that dick.
Some feel like they do, or some feel like they are helpless. Sometimes it just is what it is. You know how it is. It's a power thing, like a power dynamic. You freeze. You hope that. Any number of things, and I'm not gonna sit here and pretend I know, because I don't.
No, and I won't present it that way, especially depending on what era of WWE we're talking about. But at the same time, again, I'm coming at it in the realm of how his lawyer will come at it.
Yeah.
And a lot of these women who are coming out now, it seems as if they took that money. You know what I'm saying? And regardless of what the prosecution wants to say, that's going to be a big ass part of it.
Yeah.
Regardless of what argument, they took the money. They sucked that dick and they took the money. So, what are we trialing him for? Honestly. But at the same time, I would love to see Vincent McMahon drop to his knees in pure agony and pain, because he deserves it, because
it's been coming. It's been
the
building.
Fucking Earth.
And he
Not
just
even Earth. He Earth.
Well, and he can't be getting away with this. There's just no way. Like. And
again, this is just one. I don't even know what to call it. This is one thing you could come at Vincent McMahon about, and we have several thousand. But the one, and that's the key thing about this whole trial and whatever's going to happen, the one constant, take out back in math class right now, the most common denominator is that of sexual misconduct when it comes to Vince McMahon. And some people have brought this point up, and it's just. Vincent McMahon, for that time span between like after the steroid trial and up until they became public in regards to like their stocks, Vincent McMahon was a straight shooter. After they became public, that's when all this dumb shit started happening. That's when, you know, the genetic jackhammer started. That's when the affair with Trish Stratus and him fucking so much to where that put Linda McMahon into a fucking trance to where she had to be in the fucking wheelchair.
Yeah, and then watch him make out with Trish Stratus in front of her.
And mind you, folks, this is the type of shit that we grew up on. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the 90s, baby.
And we're locked in. We're like, oh shit, this shit's crazy. You know.
And again, that shows you how fucked up times were back then, where nobody even thought a fucking second thought about it.
No, it was just, this was entertainment. That was the standard.
But you know what? At a certain point, we kind of understood and accepted that, you know what? This probably is who the fuck Vince McMahon really is.
Well, as many people have said, out of people in the business, you know, the best wrestlers are those who just take their personalities and turn it up to 11. I never know who to attribute that quote to, but I've heard it so many times now that I feel like this is just
most, if not
this
all,
is like a conventional
that.
Wrestling logic point, you know?
I mean, all of the greats have been there.
Yeah, for better or for worse, and Vince is who he is, and I guess that's why so many people have just kind of accepted it. It's like, oh, that's just Vince McMahon, that's our guy. You know, he's just been allowed to just kind of be this asshole.
And, that's
forever,
what I was telling
you know?
Dancing Bear the other day, like, because again, he became a fan after the concept of that character of Mr. McMahon. But I told him, like, yo, up until a certain point, like, nobody really knew that this motherfucker was the owner.
Yeah,
he was just the 1, 2.
He was just the dorky,
corny ass commentator.
The dorky commentator.
Up until Stone Cold stunned his ass, we ain't word. Like, we was like, word, that's the owner. But then he became Mr. McMahon, and you know, Brett Screw Brett, the infamous uppercut.
The infamous locker room Canadian uppercut, the Canadian Shoryuken.
Only thing that would make that better if Brett would have just gave him the uppercut with his dick out.
Fresh out the shower, like, oh, you're here? Whap.
He said it, but he still, that shows you the respect he still had for Vince McMahon. He put his jeans and his sneakers on to snuff him. Exactly.
Maybe he had, as he was putting on his clothes, he was considering, well, maybe I don't have to punch this guy, you know? And he's like, nah, I gotta do this.
No. He was like, no,
I gotta do it. I gotta do it.
He has no choice. The blatant disrespect. And look, again, they were doing a documentary on Bret Hart during that time. So.
Yeah, it's I often lament, even though Wrestling with Shadows, which was the name of the documentary, was great. I lament that they didn't catch that somehow, or at least catch the aftermath or something. Like they caught some juicy bits. Don't get me wrong, but like,
right piece of it without it being well, shit. I mean, that was what, 97. So anything in 97, you couldn't. Nothing was too graphic in 97. But they caught the best part of that because they caught Vince walking out. And you see the shiner already forming, and he's stumbling, and Shane McMahon is right behind him trying to hold him up. But you see Vince McMahon walks out with his suit on, and you see like, yeah, no, he just got fucked up.
That's true. I wonder if I could find that. That might be the thumbnail right there.
Oh no, that's easy, bro.
That's gotta be. I'm sure that's well documented.
Especially now. I mean, shit. Just Dark Side of the Ring.
Yeah.
Which apparently got canceled by Sweet Dick Vinny. Because I didn't know that Vice is owned by not AMC. This shit that they, whatever that channel they're doing all this shit on now. Like the Legend shit. Is that A&E?
A&E, maybe Discovery.
Yeah. Yeah, and I didn't know A&E, they own Vice.
Oh, so they're like chill.
So, yeah. But, you know, shout out to the homies that do Dark Side of the Ring. Y'all will get picked up somewhere else. And
definitely. There's so many stories like that they could tell. They don't really need
too many, baby.
They don't need these guys at all, really.
This story alone.
Oh my God. When it really gets chronicled, like
honestly, if I'm them, I lay low for a while because clearly they not going broke. Lay low until like this, whatever this Vince shit is happening goes on, and however it ends, just that should be like whatever y'all do. That should be y'all first story. Fuck Vince. No time.
Yeah.
No chance.
Or they could just release it on YouTube and risk being sued, and that'll be that. But
I wouldn't do that because there's already and the Dancing Bear, he put me onto this way before Dark Side of the Ring came on, but the Behind the Titantron shit.
Oh yeah.
Dark Side of the Ring is just a better version of that, but Behind the Titantron has been on YouTube since 2015, 2016, something like that. Something like that.
So
but, yeah. Because look, they were the first ones I saw like Devon Eric's story, Owen Hart, China, Benoit, way before Dark Side of the Ring. But like I said, Dark Side of the Ring was able to go a little bit more in depth into that type of shit.
And and get the people who knew,
actual interviews,
and all that, and were around and all these things. So, well, there's a shame, but they definitely will be back. It's too good a concept to not exist. Or
and look, those two, they have the connects.
Yeah, at this point, it seems like wrestlers are very into being on that show. Especially Chris Jericho.
I'll say this. I don't know if this is a Vice show. It probably is because I don't know if the same guys that do Dark Side of the Ring started or helped with the series of that whole you got like Dark Side of the 90s. I like Dark Side of football. I don't know if Vice had this, but they definitely have the Dark Side of porn. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
Stay tuned for that episode, folks.
Will we review that?
Whenever we can get an old school porn star on, we'll let y'all know.
Word. We'll shoot for like Heather Hunter.
Stormy Daniels.
Or Kobe Ty. I always bring her up because she was like a foundational point in my childhood for sure.
Heather Huntley?
All of them, but especially Kobe Ty, because again, she reinforced that, petite women are hot, super hot. And man, she loved her some anal, I guess. But
this is not a porno episode, folks. But if y'all want more of those, leave that in the comments.
I might take some research right there, some real.
Listen,
and also actual guests, you know what I'm saying, on the show to really talk about it.
Well, we can dive into that a little bit. Yeah, folks, we often do have guests, but for whatever reason, when it's time for them to come on, there's either some drama or just life. But
and scheduling and work,
Or again, just the bullshit and drama.
Usually that.
We would like to have more party cast, but that shit seems to be more difficult the longer we. Seems like the longer we do this cast, the harder it is to get fucking guests. I don't know how it works, but whatever. It should be the other way around.
Especially after all the people are just like, I want to be on the show. And again, no shade. If you want to be on the show, we are happy to have you. Just, for some variety.
But at the same time, that's why we're giving you this at 3:52 in the morning, swigging some gin. Listening to some beat that should be in fucking American Gangster. made by yours truly, of course. We have the dancing bear in the background playing whatever Godzilla game that is, King of Monsters. You know what I'm saying?
A classic.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, what is really to be done about this or about this case? How does this really affect the landscape of, I guess, not only just the E, but like wrestling in general? I don't want to say if it does, because it definitely does. Especially since culturally in wrestling, like Vince McMahon is not the first powerful wrestling or figure in wrestling or like to do stuff like this. You know, he just has more money, I guess, to throw at silencing people. But you know, this is so huge. I know a lot of people are talking about it because of the biggest wrestling story. But I am surprised that this hasn't like.
It's the biggest wrestling story since the first trial. Well, the steroid trial.
Yeah. Well, and maybe the CM Punk trial, because people were hoping that that would be
that was the Mark trial.
Definitely,
that wasn't mainstream.
But I feel like folks, and myself included, you know, we're hoping that like finally this will put at least some daylight like on the things we know already about this company and about the game in general.
It should have, but it didn't.
Like you said, it was the Mark trial, so it didn't have the impact that it should have, unfortunately. I mean, at least CM Punk won, so that's something. But still, you know, hopefully this really actually does it. I'm hoping that John Oliver, I'm sure he has taken notice. If him marking out as hard as he did in that first episode he did about the E is any indication.
That was a couple of years ago.
You know, true. But I'm just hoping he's putting, or whatever marks on staff help him write that. Like, that they're fucking typing some shit up. Like, because it'll take something like that. Even though the Wall Street Journal and the New York Times and all these outlets are reputable and famous and respected, most people don't give a shit about this. It's still Mark shit, ultimately. As horrible as it is to say that. Like,
no, it is. It is. That's just the perception of wrestling, and ultimately that much like that's the one thing that has saved Vince McMahon. The fact that people don't respect wrestling.
Absolutely, he just.
But at the same time, and we spoke about this during the production meeting, but he has hidden behind that for too long, and he doesn't understand the fact that cloak, oh shit, what's worth that cloak and dagger is what helps his stupid ass. But the fact that he's still mad arrogant and all this is going on, bro, you can't be arrogant while you have sexual fucking misconduct and not sexual assault,
but allegations against you.
But look,
you know, that you felt like you had to pay people off to cover up.
Again, nobody gives a fuck about the fucking adultery because nobody cares about Linda McMahon. But it's sexual misconduct with a combination of bribery. To me, honestly, again, I don't know that much about law, but to me, that's not enough to get this nigga. But
it really depends how.
I felt that way with the initial allegation, but again with the I'm always refer to her as the illegal paralegal. She fucked shit up, but now that we're talking about these other 4 women, I don't know if she's included in that. I don't think she is. So
I don't think so.
Altogether, we're talking about 5 women.
So far.
The first one, she had no case. The paralegal, she has no case. Now that we're talking about 5 women and an excess of anywhere from $15 to $17 million of hush money. And again, one of these women was the depending on what era we're talking about, because if she was like a diva, I won't consider her a wrestler, but if she was trying to be an actual professional wrestler,
but legally that's how they would refer to it, a female wrestler, because that is their job, diva era or not.
No, legally they refer to them as sole proprietors. Legally, the WWE, because of the steroid case, they refer to them as their own single entities, while at the same time trying to control their own brands. Now we're talking about motherfuckers wanting to have their own podcast and do like what's that? The Foursquare shit. And, all the action. Whatever they want to do outside of wrestling, WWE wants to control that. You know that. They want to control anything that they have. And
possibly get a piece of it monetarily.
And again, if they wouldn't have, if they didn't just do that, then they probably would never have any fucking issues for the rest of their fucking existence. Right?
Yeah, because sadly in America, like, worker abuse is whatever. Like, but these allegations, and again, they are serious allegations.
So American will be a slave as long as the compensation is right.
As we've seen in this company through various individuals and talent.
That's a good segue into one of the most I won't even say it. That's a good segue into Sister Mercedes.
Yes. So I guess since we're kind of just doing updates,
this whole discussion is within the umbrella of who they refer to as Daddy Vince. I will never refer to him as that motherfucker. He's just I won't call him Vince the Devil, but
I mean, they have the devil puppet, so.
Well, that character is no longer involved in anything, but well, I thought Vince was the Vulture.
No, I get maybe at first, and then they had him be the devil puppet because it's just him with devil horns.
Talking about the Playhouse.
Yeah.
Nah, Vince started off as like a vulture or some sort of like weird bird.
Yeah.
But well, you know, Vince the Devil, Vince the whatever. See, like, we can call Vince the Devil, we can call him a bastard, all types of wild shit, but I don't even want to say it, but if we bring up Brittany Griner, bro, we may get fucking banned right now. But that we are halfway a sports podcast, and that topic is definitely way more political than sports, but
and honestly,
I would like to talk about that at some point.
Honestly, more important to bring her back, because again, this is the culture at the E. Like, this is nothing new to people who are in the fandom. So, and again, I don't want to diminish this in any way because it is serious, but like, they're holding that poor woman hostage in a foreign country for nothing, basically, for empty vape cartridges, like
oil,
saying that she was trafficking, like,
trying to make it seem like she was some fucking like international drug dealer.
After she goes over there, I guess we're doing this segue because you brought it real quick, but they bring her over there. She goes over there to play for more money because they don't pay her well in the WNBA because the WNBA just doesn't have it.
And she had already been playing over there for I don't know how many years
now, a couple years.
She was
now.
over there.
She's known over there.
But again, that's why it's more political than sport, because
it's all intertwined. You know, it's just it all.
Nah, she like, they knew that she was some sort of like celebrity or high American figure.
Definitely, which is why they're doing this to her.
And she is. That's why we're talking about her.
Yeah.
Like, we're not talking about the fucking. I know that there was 2 Marines that they're holding with her. I forgot the other one's story, but one of them they holding him for espionage and this. At this point, look, if you're bringing up espionage, like, come on, like, listen, man. He was just like, you know, that was just 2 Marines that happened to be over there doing what they was commanded to do.
Yep.
She's over there because she has fucking oil cartridges.
In jail or prison or whatever. Like,
And they want to give her 10 years for that.
Yeah, they want to put her in, like, real Russian prison. Like, in a country that is not okay with gay people at all.
Once again, like
they really
I said,
might try
like,
to disappear Brittany Griner. Like, that's crazy.
She's a black gay fucking basketball player.
In Russia.
In Russia.
And they're like after her, and it's not personally her. It's what she represents. But that's so wild.
No.
Like,
she was the biggest public figure that they can get who was American.
And worse still, Joe Biden doesn't really seem to care. Honestly, like because I was watching a video about this. He sent a token phone call. Shout out to the Majority Report for this actually, because y'all had this. Sent a token call to his wife, or excuse me, her wife, Brittany Griner's wife.
Yeah.
And that was basically it. Like, you know, he did what they always do. They made a bunch of promises. They're gonna get her home, and then nothing. Completely nothing. And
all right, but even within that realm, because for you to do that, then we're on the verge of World War III. And again, if you do that, do you start World War III over Brittany Griner?
No, because she is black and gay. If she was
even beyond that, is she important enough for you to start?
It's not even about that. It is. It's
it
more about
It is.
To answer your question.
Look, if that was LeBron over there, you start World War III.
And that's the comparison that people have made because she is on that like wavelength, basically that level.
And it also shows you the real importance of the WNBA.
And moreover, how they view
black women
and black women, of course, like obviously. So no, they're not gonna start.
Shout out to Maya Moore and everything she's done.
Yeah, Joe Biden is not gonna start World War III over her. Like they're gonna try to sweep it under the rug. Maybe they're moving behind the scenes. I don't know.
No, it won't be swept under the rug.
No, people will not allow that. But I'm just talking about essentially.
It couldn't be, but at the same time.
I'm saying they will try. They will try to downplay it, because that's what they do. Essentially, this administration. I agree with you. I'm just saying this is what they'll do. Because again, white power. This is a white supremacist country. Joe Biden's mentor is Strom Thurmond, one of the most vile racists to ever walk the planet. Like, what do you think this man is gonna do? He doesn't take that situation seriously. He doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, we definitely get flagged for this episode.
Fuck it. That's really what it comes back to. And not to, again, you said you wanted to talk about this at length, and we will, I guess, now later once we have more information. But as it stands, and you know, as far as I know, this is what it is.
Last week she had to plead guilty for drug possession. I don't think they charged her with any type of nothing like that.
I think they're trying to get her with trafficking. I don't think.
No, they were. But
I don't know if she's going to plead guilty to that.
No,
I doubt it.
She just pled guilty for possession.
Yeah.
And ultimately they'll try to get her for trafficking, but that shit won't hold. It won't.
I think they're just gonna try to tie it up as long as they can out of spite, because, like you said, of who she is, and we'll see. I mean, again, I feel like moreover is gonna take. I don't know if I'm misremembering this, but Enes Freedom's dad. Do you remember that when Enes Freedom, formerly Enes Kanter, was stuck in Turkey? And they were worried about him, getting killed or whatever. And apparently they got him out of the country because of Braun or because of some other connections or whatever. Like they figured some shit out and got his dad out of the country.
Shout out to the NBA.
So I don't know if they're moving in the background to do this. It's entirely possible. I don't know why they wouldn't be. Someone's got to get some money up, or figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Because it's obviously preposterous. She went there of her own free will. She's not a criminal. Russia's just clearly doing this out of spite. And honestly, I don't know what the answer is. I'm not a lawyer again. I guess that might be the title of this episode. I'm not a lawyer at the end of the world.
Can't do that.
But it's insane. It's really insane. And actually, again, not surprising to kind of dig a little deeper real quick. Vladimir Putin allegedly, or rumors-wise, has cancer. Is terrified of catching COVID if he hasn't already been sick or infected with it. And is clearly at the point of leadership that it seems like a lot of leaders come to as they get older, which is, all right, I'm about to die soon anyway, or they're sick, like something threatens their existence, right? So it's like, all right, since I'm gonna be dead soon possibly, I'm just gonna do all the crazy shit that I held back on doing before because there's like consequences and repercussions. But now that I'm, almost dead, I mean, that's the ultimate, repercussions. So anything these people could do to me, like, will never match death. And my legacy is intact. And I feel like just based on these actions that Russia's committing and things they've been doing in the years prior to this, we're seeing a crazed former KGB agent acting out his wildest fantasies while he can still do so. Which is unfortunate because the world suffers because of this. Because of the effect that not only war in Ukraine, but their actions have on the rest of the world economy, you name it. And this is not a political podcast, so I didn't really want to go down this alley. But
no, it's not.
But it's wild. Again, it's wild. But go ahead.
I forgot the initial link. I forgot what I was watching, but either way, if y'all want to support, like I said, I forgot the initial link that I saw, but I mean, clearly you can Google Brittany Griner petition. I signed up for that.
I'll flesh it.
The initial site is like change.org or something like that.
All right, so that's the usual petition spot. All right.
And they have a petition, to clearly bring Brittany the fuck home. But I signed up for that. If y'all want to, like I said, you can just Google Brittany Griner petition and they'll send you that. But I think, like I said, it's change.org. You can look that type of shit up. But this woman does not deserve any of this shit.
Not at all. I will, when I flesh out the description and such, link that.
Yes. And
any other, I guess, pertinent links to pretty much help her out because, again, I don't think our government is going to do anything, at least not right away. They are more focused on...
this is one of those situations, what can they do, honestly?
Be more at least vocal about it. That's free. Be more, make this matter more in the media than it seems to right now. It's getting coverage, but not mainstream coverage, really.
But again, is this not a very, not trying to be too political, but is this not a very fucking tender, delicate time? Especially considering the X factors we're talking about.
Absolutely, but I feel little remorse about that because, one, this administration ain't doing shit. They're just not. And you can come at me with all those memes in the comments about all the stuff they've done, whatever. They haven't done anything meaningful. They're just taking victory laps.
Well, no.
Because they don't care about winning or losing. They're chilling right now.
This administration did the only thing they were supposed to do, which was get old Carrot Face out of office.
Definitely.
So
I get it. I get all of it. However, we're coming out of the fucking apocalypse. We're still in it in a lot of ways. Not just with the virus, but with the damage it did to the economy, the supply chain, you name it. The culture, people's brains. We have a mass shooting every couple days. Shit is wild out here right now. And, these guys are just kind of like, all right, whatever. Seemingly, it's just, a lot of empty press conferences and the usual shit. It's just business as usual. We won't make any meaningful changes. We won't do any executive orders. This man's approval rating is 33%. That's crazy. That's crazy. So, you know, it's a lot of not giving a fuck by the people up top. And more often than not, all we have is each other and we're on our own, it seems like. So hopefully we do more.
That's the same song and dance.
Yeah, to bring BG home. More than anything, just to reunite with her family. Like, it's not about her fame, her celebrity, her whatever. Like, just, she's an American citizen. Like, there seems to be a lot of kind of disregard for the American citizens stuck in these kind of situations abroad.
And it's fucked up, and I don't want to say it like this, but the Russians basically, they got the closest thing to a famous black man that they could.
Definitely. Absolutely.
It's fucked up, but
that's why they're clutching on to her so hard.
Looking for, but they accepted her.
Who is the highest profile American we could lash out at? Because like you said, they got those Marines. I'm sure they got other people of interest. But they're not famous.
No, and I'm quite sure
she's famous.
I'm quite sure they're white.
Yeah. And probably doing more behind the scenes to get them back than they're doing for her. But I don't know. We're going to segue to Mercedes because you mentioned her earlier. And this is more of, I guess, update similar to the Sweet Dick Vinny. Maybe that'll be the title, Sweet Dick Vinny at the end of the world. Already got like 16 titles for this episode. But Sasha Banks, a.k.a. Mercedes Varnado, because I guess she's probably not going to be Sasha Banks anymore.
She should just be Mercedes.
I'm sure she will be. You know, she's already acting under that name, her actual name. Like, you know, she'll do that. Whatever she decides to do, because no one really still knows. But they are, and by they I mean the E, is basically making it official after, you know, the release has basically been officialized of Naomi and Sasha, not just Sasha. Which is wild.
No, she was, for those of you who, subscribe to the Cock, that being the Peacock app, network, whatever you want to call it, the Cock. If, up until a certain point, if you were on there, you saw that she was one of the main figures on whatever homepage that you may be on in regards to WWE and, of course, the Cock. They've taken her off of all of that shit.
Not only there, they scrubbed them off the shop. They got rid of her merchandise. They scrubbed her off the page, the roster page. She's not even an alumni.
They're trying to wipe her from existence.
They're trying to delete her, like, completely. Like, delete
so
Sasha.
much so to where, again, they have Bianca Belair looking stupid, talking about her match against some black ghost.
Some up-and-comer. Some blue chipper.
Just some random motherfucker that she main evented WrestleMania.
And she almost said her name, and, she's like, oh, my God.
Exactly.
Almost said her name.
So she had to be like, all right, this is kind of stupid.
Yeah, she's looking at the camera like, what the fuck? Like, we're just going to pretend she doesn't exist? And they are. That's how petty they are. You know how they do.
Thank you, Bianca, baby, but yeah.
They still haven't even said it officially that they fired her, even though they clearly have. They're not going to wish her luck on her future endeavors like they often do, even though she made them a lot of fucking money. And, you know, you see what the usual thing is for them.
That's because she did what a lot of disgruntled workers do. She complained and bitched on her way out. Meanwhile,
No, go ahead. Yeah.
Meanwhile, Paige, who has not wrestled in 5 years,
maybe more.
Nah, because look, Absolution was what, 2017?
Yeah, and she got injured around then because she was she was wrestling with Absolution at that house show.
She was injured originally, came back, then got re-injured.
That's what I'm saying. She re-aggravated that neck injury because Sasha, and they shit on Sasha hard for this too. In the spot, she did I guess a hip attack or a back bump with her into the turnbuckle, and the turnbuckle hit her neck and it re-aggravated the injury. So she
can't be mad at anybody for that.
Then she, semi-retired and then became, Paige the GM, which is my favorite version of her.
Fake Paige. Oh my god. Yeah, the What's Up Player page.
Yeah. So it is what it is. They killed her for that. They killed Sasha for that, even though it was an accident. It is what it is. They're trying to scrub Sasha from existence, I guess. They are really upset at what happened, obviously. So to your point about disgruntled workers, a lot of folks on Twitter, because a lot of people, Sasha's a love-hate figure online, it seems. Either you super love her or fans virulently hate her, for obvious reasons like racist ones and misogynist ones, and they just don't like her for whatever reason. They said she has an attitude problem, whatever it is. A lot of people keep bringing up the fact that...
No. Well, first of all, I will stop you there. Anybody that says that shit you just said about her, first of all, I don't want any of them listening to this fucking podcast. Second of all...
There's a lot of them.
Yes, there are. Second of all y'all fucking Sasha stands. Bro, get another hobby, please. Like, y'all are the reason why she's disgruntled. It's
well,
not Vince,
besides the management, but
no, it's them, alright? Because look, we both have had jobs where
really not poor booking, not 5 title reigns where you don't have the title beyond a month, and you lost most of those to Charlotte, not always losing in your hometown, not getting punished for seemingly very petty things.
Why? Because that's all work. You can leave that. But the fucking stands, they are all around you. So, again, you talk about the stands and you talk about the bullshit at work. That's why, again.
So what do you make of this point of that, she's a disgruntled worker, and, the example they make is, well, what if you walked out of work and you didn't want to do what your boss is going to do? They would be right to fire you, right? And so they just run with that.
No. Because we're talking about contractual shit. She should have left 5 years ago. And I told you that shit 5 years ago.
Well, and a few times on this show now. Definitely. If not on Hard Correspondent.
So, to me, what she's doing now is way overpast due to the point where, again, like, it has the effect, but it's not the effect that it really should have had. Because if she would have left 4 years ago, and she would have been on not on like the open market, but if she would have been a free agent around the time AEW first started,
which I mentioned in Hard Correspondent, I was hoping, praying, fantasizing that her and Bayley would just leave because their contracts were up around then or near up around then.
That will never happen. They won't both leave. And look, if I was a betting man, I would have bet on Bayley leaving before Sasha. I mean, shit, we may get both of those because Sasha leaving means Bayley is not going to stick around for much longer.
Yeah, unless, they drive they drive that truckload of money
Sasha,
up to the crib.
No. Sasha was Bayley's ace. Ace Boom Coon.
Yes.
So, and we both know, much like any real mark or any real wrestling fan knows, like, Bayley is a wrestler. So, honestly, I can say, like, her heel turn / heel run probably had a lot to do with the fact that she saw the bullshit between NXT and what they consider to be the upper class. I'm saying.
I believe they wanted to go back, no? Both her and Sasha. They were hoping to go back somehow. Which is why when they got the tag belts, they're like, we're going to defend these belts everywhere, including NXT, which was the start of something promising. And then again, they fucking killed them in the booking for the Iconics, who they then fired.
No, once they gave them those tag team belts, to me, I felt like shit was over. Because, well, shit, look. Impact had the Knockouts tag team titles, and realistically, I know that's the first time that anybody has brought this shit up in any part of this podcast, but till this day, those tag team titles don't mean shit. They may have gotten rid of them, I don't know, but
I think in Impact, I think it's the Influence. They're the champions again. If they didn't get rid of them, because the Iconics or whatever they were in Impact, I forget their names right now. They retired from wrestling.
So they may have retired those titles, which I mean,
perhaps.
I guess that's cool, but no, either way.
Honestly, as great as the Knockouts division is, I don't think there's enough. Again, I'm not some avid Impact watcher, but from what I know of the roster, it's not deep enough to have a tag division and a champion, a main champion, who's Jordan Grace right now. Like, that doesn't make sense to me, unless they get more women, which is possible.
No. I mean, honestly, for better or worse, once Tessa Blanchard became Impact champion, that kind of spoiled the Knockouts division, because now shit is a little bit like more convoluted. And look, having a female like champion being female being like the top champion, that shit is cool, but that does create some drawbacks.
It was cool. Also, they pulled, I'll give Impact the credit, man. They pulled the trigger on it at the right time against the right opponent in Sam Callahan, right?
With the right person.
With the right person, who was hot. Like, she was white hot at the time.
No.
I totally get why they booked that.
No, I get why they did it, but at the same time, now, again, they have to deal with all the drawback from that shit.
True. And their title picture was a little like fuzzy after all the controversy and shit.
And they really didn't have anybody outside of Taya Valkyrie.
Yeah, who will probably get that belt back soon. Well, and Deanna, I mean, in a way, it was great because it set up the road for Deanna, who had a fantastic run with
Taya,
those titles.
She's not an Impact. I don't know what Taya is.
She's hopping around. I think she won a title last night, 2 nights ago, somewhere. She's doing indie shows, but she's been on Impact.
She's moving around, but
she's hopping around right now. But she's gonna.
Might be more like ROH. I don't know.
She's definitely gonna be an Impact for sure. She's an original. Like, she has that rivalry with Deanna. Like, it makes sense. Like, so yeah, like, but you're right. Like, it kind of like left them in the lurch a little bit again, since the rest of the women in the division were competing for the tag titles. And again, I'm not like the biggest Impact watcher or whatever, but I'm rooting for them. Like, I hope they make it. They just kind of keep limping along, but surviving. And they have a lot of talent there. And I want to see the women succeed because they have one of the deepest divisions in the world that like gets any attention anyway. Until Stardom really starts picking up on New Japan, which I'm waiting so much for. And they said that they're going to do so. Here's hoping for that. But
it's definitely Impact and Stardom in regards to like the females division.
But yeah, back to Sasha. Like, what is she like this monster that people make her out to be because she walked out? Her and Naomi, because they lumped Naomi in with that too.
No.
And would they be getting this reaction if it was Alexa Bliss and like, I don't know, I couldn't even name somebody right now. Fucking Mandy Rose, I guess. Like, I don't think so. Like, I don't think it would be the same. I think there would be an uproar, sure. But like, people are highly upset. And again, Sasha is a polarizing figure, so it makes sense. But it wouldn't be the same. It would not. Except for the stands, like you said. It would not be the same.
And again, I fuck with Mandy Rose. Not just because she's a beautiful woman, but she has a good package in regards to being a wrestler. She's just been involved with the wrong shit. You know what I'm saying? She went back to the wrong NXT. I'll say that. But outside of her, again, the Sasha Banks story is always going to be intertwined with that of Vinnie Max. And, not in regards to being held back or being buried, even though she was never buried, but there was a ceiling put on her.
That's the perfect way to phrase it. Because again, they made a lot of money off her. They realized her value. They just didn't want to elevate it, at least past a certain point. Thus the ceiling. At least not in the way that they got behind Becky. And again, I'm happy that Becky's had her run. She deserved it, but you could see the difference. Once the man shit caught on, once they knew they had lightning in a bottle or whatever, they strapped the rocket to her.
The reality is, Becky, and I won't knock her for nothing, but Becky's getting all her shit now because of Seth Rollins.
Yeah, all of it. Not the hard work, not the putting herself over, not
I'm
any
saying
of that.
Now.
Oh,
now,
okay.
Now.
So this Conor McGregor run you're talking about, big time Beck's run.
Because she's just being Seth Rollins. That's her character now. She's her husband, and the shit is whack because she's not him.
True.
She can't do the shit he's doing. At this point, I don't know what she could do because she clearly isn't that charismatic. She's kind of boring, son. As a wrestler, she's kind of boring. So that's why she has to kind of ride the coattails of her husband, because honestly, Seth probably is the best character in the game right now. I won't say he's the best heel, but in regards to the best character,
yeah,
I don't know who's better than him.
Yeah, they love this dude. Besides Cody before he got hurt, but
even Cody,
because he put him over in a way
Seth is the most entertaining character.
Imagine they put Cody in his first feud against Ziggler or somebody like that. And they would have performed, matches would have been great, it would have been fine, but it wouldn't have had that impact that this one had. Especially since
if we talking Dolph specifically, Dolph could have did something, but that's because they're not pushing it.
Sure, I just use him as an example.
Dolph, Bobby Roode, Shinsuke, Sammy, who else? Bobby Lashley. Boy, you could name 8 names that Cody could have really popped with.
Sure, but Seth had the best spark with that. But again, going back to Sasha and Naomi, I don't want to forget Naomi. I am shocked that they're scrubbing her too. I mean, not highly, but shocked that they're scrubbing old Trinity Fatu. Because I don't know if she's fired or not. I assume she is, so she's not Naomi anymore. I'm surprised. A lot of people speculated that, she would have the protection of, Reigns and the Usos and all that. Especially given that, how many DUIs this guy keeps getting away with and all that. But it seems like she has no support.
Another wild Florida nigga.
It seems like she has no support. It seems like, she's cool. She's still posting. She's going to make it through because what I've noticed of her since I followed her on Twitter and in general, because she's another one. Everybody talked about how bad she was at first, and all they cared about was her ass. and this and that, and she got so much better in the ring, improved the character, made you care about her. Like,
I forgot what it was before it was NXT. It was F something, FCW.
FCW.
Yes, yeah. When Dusty Rhodes still owned the shit. She was one of their originals.
Yep. So I'm kind of shocked that she kind of dodged it. But again, I guess being linking with Sasha, darkened that in their eyes. So I'm more curious as to what's gonna happen with her. Are they just gonna dead her for now and do it Hogan style, where they scrub her for a little bit and bring her back later under a different character or a different storyline or something like that? Is she really done? I hope not. All those years she put in, what would that have been for? To improve and become women's champion and try to get title opportunities and be forgotten about in the roster. Almost be in that same basically league as Ember Moon and other minority female WWE superstars, because they all have them in the same class. Like, unless you really make money for them. And I don't want to just pin it on racism. I don't want to just pin it on misogyny or any of that, even though those things are present. Like, there has to be more to it, and obviously there is with backstage politics and the real gears that are working inside the machinery of the company that we know some things about, but not all the things. But all I can do is speculate. All I can figure out is that Naomi is done as well, and if so, where does she go? What does she do? I don't know. It's easy to just say go to AEW. It's easy for all people who are released and or walk out and or their contracts end or whatever it is with the E to go to AEW and just start afresh. I guess that's my advice for both of them, especially since, they're both avid wrestlers. They're into this. This is their lives. They have no choice to go to AEW unless they, retire from wrestling and decide to pursue acting, modeling, you name it. The sky's the limit for them. They are millionaires, I'm sure, by now. Maybe they retire and decide to live their lives peacefully. Who knows? But I don't know. I'm worried. I'm worried more about her than I am about Sasha, because Sasha at least has, or Mercedes, or at least has the acting to fall back on, has options. And maybe Naomi has options, again, that we don't know about. I am not, an avid follower of hers. Like I said, I just follow her on Twitter. I always liked her positive vibes. I think as a face, she has gone woefully underused in the E because of how over she is, how attractive she is to fans, how much merch she sells. That whole bit with the glowing belt and how they didn't like it when she did it, even though it sold for them, like, that always stuck out to me. And are they really, I guess the question I have for you is, are they really going to be that spiteful as to bury her or bury a profitable commodity? Sasha, I understand, they don't fuck with her, that is apparent, but I don't know, are they going to risk angering the Usos and Roman Reigns? And I don't want to make it about them. It's about her. It's about her career. It's about her potential and what she can still do in the game. I don't know. I hope she doesn't fall through the cracks. It seems like, again, the focus is on Sasha for obvious reasons. And that's my concern.
I mean, at this point, they seem to not care about those connections, relationships, or dare I say, those family connections.
Well, and again, if you look at the initiative, whether Nick Khan driven or Vince McMahon driven or whoever driven, they are trying to be Marvel, as they've mentioned now. Shout out to JD for breaking the story, because he's the only place, his channel rather, is the only place I ever recall hearing coverage about this. Maybe other people covered and I just didn't see it. I don't watch every podcast, obviously. Who can?
There's no need to.
But he broke that story that internally WWE wants to be like Marvel. They see that Marvel is every unit. It's all about universes now. I'm sure I made this point before. Everyone wants their lore. Everyone wants their universe that people can get lost in and speculate about. And now that the E's has kind of seemingly an anti-wrestler initiative or an anti-indies initiative specifically, and an anti-old person, quote unquote old wrestler initiative and policy.
Well, look, now
they feel like these people are replaceable. Like it's that
anti-indie thing that was definitely before the allegations, and that was the whole what's that, the NIL shit that they was doing.
Yeah.
But being that Brother Levesque is back involved, some of that will change. But
sure, but I think they'll still go for that. As we saw with Gabe Steveson and guys like that, Parker Bordeaux, even though they fired him.
Those are the last licks. But again, being that Vince isn't directly involved, and
I don't know, they're still hiring these people.
The developmental will go back to being what it was.
I think it'll be a combination of the two. I think they'll still have that initiative. They want.
The Vince initiative, yeah, but.
I don't even think it's so much a Vince initiative. I think it's like a company initiative. That's why I mentioned Nick Khan.
Well, the company is Vince, and Vince is
sure, but let's put that aside for a second.
You can't.
No, I'm gonna go to a point you made earlier in the episode. Let's assume that Nick Khan is on this takeover shit, right? Maybe he doesn't want to be the head. Maybe he does. Who knows? But let's say that this is him hollowing out the company so that they could do a more conventional corporate strategy. Because that's the kind of businessman Nick Khan seems to be. He's from Hollywood. He's from agencies. He knows how to do all this shit. And he clearly wants to mold the E in some kind of version of that.
It's not about molding. It's about him trying to do shit to sell it. So it's not about molding. It's
to that end, right? Why not continue to hire moldable, attractive young athletes who don't wrestle and then come up with in the game and don't have a stigma and don't know who these people. They don't really know Vince McMahon. They don't know about this culture like that. Maybe some of them do. Maybe some of them are marks, but it doesn't seem that way. Because they want to be able to control these people. They don't want people who can rebel against them. And moreover, to full loop this to Sasha and various other people, they don't want people who can walk out, that they can just replace in case they get.
I can answer all that in a couple of words, but I'll let you finish.
No, that's it. You got it. Like I'm batting it back to you. Like
I can answer that and just your product suffers. As simple as that.
But they've shown they don't care about that.
But listen, all right, no. Vince has shown that he doesn't care about
the Vince regime.
No,
Vince and his underlings, because they basically do what he does. They believe in his philosophy. So Vince's culture.
Vince has shown that he does not
care about that as long as they are profitable. Which
but again, that's what this whole, it's not a case yet, but that's what this whole situation is about. Or better yet, that's what will dictate whether or not Vince falls or not. What are we really talking about? Are we talking about
the crossroads of the E, but not only the E, but of wrestling? Because things are, I don't want to say coming to a head. That seems like a ultimatum or there's some finality. But the landscape.
No. I mean, listen. If
it's changing.
If you've been somebody, well, look. If you've been a real true Vince hater, then you saw this shit brimming for a long time. But like, I asked the question of what are we really talking about? Because I asked that question in life.
Often.
Are we no. Are we talking about? Okay, it's the two sides of the spectrum. Are we talking about? Are we talking about a wrestling mogul, which he is? Are we talking about a wrestling booker or some sort of content creator who just so happened to be caught up in a sex scandal? Or are we talking about another fucking billionaire man of power who has clearly abused that power in regards to having sexual acts done, along with a whole laundry list of other shit that he has
Yes,
Done.
the answer is yes. Oh, but it's not even a spectrum thing. The answer is yes. This is the cultural thing. That's why I keep bringing up that word culture.
Oh no, I know it's
You
not.
know what I'm saying? And I know you know that. I'm just saying that it extends out from beyond one man.
Listen, brother, from
Because
time.
people-
No. Listen,
Yeah.
brother, from time to time, I just so happen to do a podcast.
Every now and again with some jackass.
Saying.
What a crazy guy that is. But the reason why I keep hammering on this is, and obviously Nick Khan and other elements are trying to change this culture because it's not working. But a lot of dorks, you know, myself included, I've said this, feel like...
First of all,
right,
Nick Khan is a fucking dork.
Yeah, obviously he wouldn't be pulling these moves if he wasn't on some Mark shit. If he was
No,
just like a business...
first of all, if the conspiracy theorists were right and he is trying to take down this McMahon empire, then if he was not a dork, he would be way more tactful.
Well, he
way
wouldn't
more
care.
strategic.
He
with
wouldn't
this shit.
care because this
Like,
this company makes money. Like no matter what, even no matter despite their failures, despite their...
It wouldn't be as
like,
public.
Absolutely.
Or you know what? It wouldn't have been public until shit really hit the fan. You know what I'm saying? Until like, oh shit, Vince really lost. And like Stephanie can't do nothing. It's like, oh, they have no grasp of this.
Yeah.
That's how, dare I say, a real businessman works. But
And again,
I know. I just so happen to have a fucking business degree.
But I get it. You cut the head up the snake, you know, hopefully it dies, right? But
the poison is still there.
yeah, like it's so ingrained, like this man's methodology, and that's really the answer to your question. This man's methodology is what people ascribe to, at least his underlings, which are many throughout the company, is his company. And because they are profitable, it is seen to be successful. It works. So therefore it's okay. And so that's why it keeps perpetuating. Because as long as the money comes in, who can say shit to these people? That's what their argument always is. Anytime some indie shit happens or someone gets in an argument with Seth Rollins or something like that, money comes up. I make more money than you. I make more money than you. My company is more profitable than yours. This and that. And
that's why motherfuckers swear that Kenny Omega is a better wrestler than fucking Seth Rollins. I'm not at the point where I would want to ever punch anybody in the face for that, but
that would be some Mark shit.
No, I'm not. Again, I'm not. But at the same time, there is no argument, right? Kenny Omega will never be Seth Rollins, okay? Ever.
So what's to be done? Like, I kind of feel like, you know, I don't want to kind of talk the same thing again and again.
What's to be done in regards to what?
Well, what do you? I guess the more important question is: do you think that this is gonna amount to something? I think I asked this in the last episode as well, but now that we have more developments,
we touched on this, but it wasn't really discussed.
Like, what do you think can spring from this? What do you think? You know, again, like you said, this is an important moment, not just as for Vince haters, for wrestling fans, for everybody that is at least invested in this shit.
Just in regards to American culture.
Yeah.
Because, ironically, we're not like out of the Me Too movement, but ironically, Vincent McMahon going down will be like that'll be like the true, like, I guess the true what the fuck moment.
Like the oh shit, like they finally. I get.
Look, you can go after like politicians, you can go after motherfuckers in Hollywood, but like I said earlier, Vince has been comfortable in his little wrestling universe
for decades.
And he's again, me and the Dancing Bear, we watched this a couple of days ago. It was the Vlad TV. Interview with Old Max's up name, New Jack, right before he died, and he talked about that. He talked about Vince McMahon. He talked about Chris Benoit, and not to touch too much on that, but I understand where he comes from in regards to that Chris Benoit situation because he wasn't friends with Benoit. He was friends with Nancy. And shit, any one of us would have felt the same way. Like, nah, I was cool with her. Fuck this Nancy. That was my homegirl. You know what I'm saying?
And what happened, yeah.
But nah, he definitely talked about Vince, and he says the same shit to anybody that who knows, like 1/8, not even 1/8, like 1/16 of what happens behind the scenes. If you know anything like that, you know that Vince McMahon is a dirty motherfucker. I won't even get into the whole like the insurance thing. Actually, I will for a little bit. Just for 2 people. Oh, nah, just for one person. I forgot what year it was. It may have been either like 2016 or 2017, but one of those years, alright? I'm talking either 6, 7 years ago. He didn't offer The Undertaker, Mark Calloway, the fucking Phenom. He didn't give Undertaker insurance until like 2017.
The goddamn Undertaker, the dead man, son. His greatest creation, as they're always saying, his greatest creation.
Oh, that is his greatest creation.
Yeah.
But, well, whatever. Point is, well, fuck it. We got a little too political in this episode already. With Vince, there's a fucked up combination of politics, violence, and whatever other fucking mainstream bullshit we want to evolve. But, that man needs to burn. He does. And the way you get to that, again, it seems like we're getting to that. To me, I feel like if Mercedes would have left years ago, if this chick, I want to call her Gargoyle, this chick, this is Vega.
Zelina Vega.
If she would have left when she should have, instead of taking that deal, things could have happened earlier. But there is too much of a pattern. Well, no. There's a pattern of clearly a lot of women being paid hush money, but there's also a pattern of these women accepting that money. So we're in a weird, fucked up place.
I mean, that's what it be when you feel like you have no other options. Especially when you're dealing with, a regime of people who are lying to you, manipulating you, saying, I'll owe you one, pal, all that shit. And I get it. You want to state that everyone should take their accountability for their roles in these situations.
Even beyond that, listen. All right. Okay. All right. No, let's. Okay. I'm trying to think of a company that all right, Enron. Okay. This is an old example.
Dating yourself there.
I mean, me being named Lightskin Bandit dates myself too. That's an old nigga fucking nigga. Well, shit. No. Let's go with Activision. Okay.
More contemporary example. There you go. Activision Blizzard.
Only reason I'm bringing them up is because I didn't read too much into this situation, but whatever.
Oh, I did. I know. We won't go too deep, but
no.
They're wilding. They've been wilding.
And that's my point.
Yeah.
I wish I had a better example, but
no, that's a perfect example.
No, because
absolutely, that's a perfect example.
WWE is a perfect example till its own,
But even again, just entertainment company.
That has had some sort of reputation
for wildness, ridiculousness, all that.
Okay. If decide to work for these motherfuckers, and you accept that job. Alright, look. I could not accept the job being a fucking CO in Rikers, when Rikers was still going, and complain about what the inmates do to me, or what they try to do to me.
That's a slippery slope, though.
It is, but it's not, because again, we're staying within the realm of, wherever you go to work, if you accept that job, they're wild, and things may, or if things don't happen, consider yourself lucky.
Sure, but since we use Activision Blizzard, famously, one part of the case that people were horrified by is that a female employee was essentially constantly harassed by her boss.
Yeah.
Constantly harassed by her boss. Yeah. They finally go on a trip together, some business trip, some shit, and she has to go with him because it's her job.
Yeah.
And then he assaults her on the trip. Is that on her? Fuck no. It's not.
No.
That man should be made to take account for that. Like, I doubt he will. Whoever that executive or boss or whoever the fuck that was. But that woman's dead now. She killed herself because of that. Those events, the fallout of those events. Like, she didn't ask for any of that.
No.
She's just working her dream job making video games, and this nigga decides to basically destroy her life. Pretty much. Vincent McMahon's no different.
No. But at the same time, I will throw this out. Yes, that's your job. Yes, that's your dream job. I'll bring up, what's Shorty from fucking The Boys?
Starlight.
Now, look. I won't ever be that instant, that prick to be like, yeah, you chose it, whatever. But at the same time, now again, all that was happening at a totally different time, where those victims couldn't come out and they couldn't come out and say what the fuck was going on.
Yeah, or they felt like they couldn't, or they were too scared, or whatever it is.
Because again, I understand all that. If you don't accept that money, in certain instances, you have motherfuckers harassing you, threatening your life, all that other shit. But that's my whole point. Like, alright, if that's happening, then is that not when you're supposed to come out?
Not if they can get you killed or destroy your life, which that man has done and is capable of doing. And will do it. To cover his ass? Absolutely.
Yeah.
He'll do it. He has done it.
Once again, it's like...
I get their side of it. Like, that's what Cornette, we were listening to that in the pre-production meeting, Cornette, kind of hammered in on that point, which sucks. And I get it. He's explaining it from his perspective because he knows Vince McMahon and has worked with him.
Well, no. And to his credit, first of all, I will wave my Jim Cornette flag for those who hate this motherfucker, because anybody that says he's a racist, bigot, whatever you want to call him, just listen to that man, right? That's all I gotta say. Just listen to him and the shit he says, and you'll see what it is.
Sure. I just felt like he harped in on why did they wait so long? Because they felt like they couldn't come forward because their lives would be destroyed by this man, or by his lawyers, or by whoever. And no. First of all, look,
who he was talking about the most recent.
I get that.
And more the illegal paralegal, and again, Shorty was what, 3 years ago?
Yeah. And I get that. I get that he's trying to really frame what he means, and he's not trying to diminish any of this shit.
No.
But
shit.
That's not a good argument. You know what I'm saying? Like, why did you wait so long? Like, nigga, you went through trauma. Like, that hits people in various ways.
His argument is, it's not that it's a bad argument. His argument is what I told you during the production meeting. It's the argument of what the defending fucking
what the
legal
prosecution
team.
is gonna do.
Not the prosecution.
Or the defense. It would be the defense. Because he's gonna be the one getting prosecuted.
So he's been so again, there's a lot of holes in these stories, and I told you earlier, like.
And that may be covered by NDAs, even though now the NDAs are being violated.
And the fact that a good amount of these women, they accepted that money. Again, that in itself makes a lot of this shit null and void. Yeah, they offered you the hush money. It's one thing for them to offer you that, and it's another thing for them to offer you and you accept the shit. Now again, like I said, that goes, like we've been talking about, that goes back into the whole, alright, they accepted money just because they felt like, their lives may be threatened or their careers.
And Jim Cornette said this as well, to his credit. They just wanted it to be over. They didn't want no parts of Mr. McMahon. They didn't want no parts of the E. They didn't want no parts of long drawn out trials. Yes. They didn't want none of that. They just want to return to obscurity, with money or not. And try to live their life the best they can with this new trauma, like with this bullshit.
But your main, your star witnesses. Actually, I don't even remember when that stopped because I don't remember like the real. Alright, maybe Weinstein, but I don't remember last time we used the phrase of high profile witness, but to me, in this case, if there is a case, you're not your high profile witnesses, but your witnesses that will hold the most merit will and always be the ones that did not accept that money.
If they come forward.
The way shit is going, and again, that's the time we live in now, you know what I mean? I guess you gotta, unfortunately, not even, you don't have to thank R. Kelly, you don't have to thank Bill Cosby, you don't have to thank Weinstein. The nigga you have to thank right now is fucking Deshaun Watson.
Wow.
Unfortunately.
Always coming back to this nigga, even though those dudes were notorious predators.
But they were never, none of them were a black NFL, none of them were a high-profile quarterback who happens to be black.
And moreover, and this is a weird can of worms, so I don't want to go too far into it. Especially in not just Houston, but in Texas.
Yeah. You're a high-profile black quarterback in Texas.
Yeah, and again, like shining, you know what I'm saying? All those other guys, unfortunately, people knew of their crimes and it was just kind of like accepted as, this stuff happened, so it's just whatever. They're going to get away with it. Deshaun is more active in these crimes more recently.
And his crimes are like, because look, Warren Moon and all the old school black quarterbacks, they just got caught up with, that old angry black man shit and just beating your wife. Now, none of that should have just been... Actually, none of that was swept under the rug. Realistically, just because of where these dudes were playing. Warren Moon and Randall Cunningham. And that says a lot about the NFL back in the day when all the black quarterbacks were being caught up for beating their wives.
Like the poppinest ones, like...
I mean, clearly they weren't the only ones, but whatever. But
they gotta sacrifice somebody.
But unfortunately, when it comes to sexual misconduct in sports, you have to point to our brother Watson.
And in general, you see who gets crucified, as opposed to dudes who, again, culturally are cultural predators and have a regime of it. And money, power, all that, sure.
I will say this, though. This is probably the only time where the Caucasian persuasion doesn't work as it used to. because they're gunning for those. They're gunning for the rich white men.
Yeah, which is why I feel like this is not about doing what's right. I feel sadly, this is about burying the McMahons, which again lends credence to whatever Nick Khan scheme that the theorists think is happening.
No, like, it's about what's doing right, but they're like 15, like 20 years behind. So they're trying to do.
I mean, yes
right.
and no, because again, let's go to this word of culture. Like, think about the stuff we don't know, and not even just the shit that has allegedly happened. None of that. The stuff we do not know. The Ashley Massaro story that I mentioned in the last episode, we found out about 2 years ago, and that shit happened 10 years ago, maybe 7, some shit like that. She wasn't even in the company no more. Like, she wasn't a part of anything.
That I mean, like, well.
Again, that poor woman killed herself. Like.
Wait, that's the Afghan shorty?
Yeah, that's the USO show. That's that shit. The troop shit. And when I say the troop shit, I'm not diminishing what happened to her. That shit was fucked up. Clearly something went down there.
First of all, like I said earlier, it probably would be kind of a reach for them to bring that into this case, but
they will.
No, but again,
because it was recent.
Wasn't that recent? But
compared to the other things, compared to Rita Chatterton, Fabulous Moolah, you name it, any of the stuff that they could go for, but
no, Fabulous Moolah, she would have her own lawsuit.
I understand that. What I'm saying is that.
But either way, no.
I bring up the Moolah thing to talk about magnitude, right? The level of wrestling scandal.
No. The history of sexual exploitation
in the industry. Like, this is not just the WWE problem, or WWF problem, or NWA problem.
See, now I'm mad you brought up the Moolah shit, because now I remember, I can't remember that black female wrestler from that episode of Dark Side of the Ring. Because if we're talking about, unfortunately, somebody that was passed around, these motherfuckers love their chocolate back in the day.
And it was fucking operationalized, which is so much more sinister. And I don't want to pile on Moolah. That I feel like is a topic for, once again, go watch that Dark Side of the Ring. Go do your research. It's pretty awful.
You could,
but it's similar. Like what I'm saying, the echoes, again, going back to culture. You allowed this stuff to happen under your regime. You allowed this stuff to be okay. You allowed, accepted, not just okay, accepted. This is just shit that happens, and then people take.
And look, that
Sable settled out of court. We still don't know what happened to her. That shit was how many years ago? And we still don't know what they settled out of court for. Still. It must have been some asshole shit that Vince did to that woman.
Hey, the 90s were the 90s.
Exactly. So, I mean, I feel that's a good spot to end there. Like, there's a lot of, you brought up the cloak and dagger. It's not going to protect them forever because now there's more scrutiny. I guess to answer my own question, do I think he's going to go down? I think this will be a crack in the armor for sure that others will then try to wedge something into.
No, it depends on what your definition of going down is.
And again, going back to the beginning of the episode and Hard Correspondent, who comes after this man? And how hard? And how much do they want it? Because if they decide to just kind of be like, that's just Vince McMahon, that's just what he does, then it's over. This man's going to rule the company until he's dead.
Oh, no, bro. So the snowball is...
And more things like that will continue to happen.
The snowball is falling down the fucking mountain. There will be... I won't call it a full avalanche, but...
There will be repercussions from this.
Yeah, because, again, and that's why I brought up that I don't know what you want to call it, but it's gonna be that separation of reality / everybody that doesn't watch wrestling, everybody that doesn't fuck with wrestling, and it's gonna be that other side of what the universe, WWE universe, thinks of Vince McMahon and his Oh shit, his universe, his enablers, and
Well, to start to wrap that up, what do you think of that? In my Twitter journeys, I've seen a lot of Vince defense, like an insane amount of Vince defense. Like
there's always gonna be that, bro. Yo, you
just,
still have people that defend fucking OJs.
Definitely, people who downplay what happened to Owen Hart, stuff like that. But it just astonishes me to see it every time like that.
Speaking of which, New Jack definitely talked about that too.
The character of Vince McMahon.
Once again, you and the audience, yeah, I definitely gotta check out.
I gotta check out that interview.
New Jack episode on Vlad TV.
For sure, I will.
No, he talked about that. He talked about again woman aka Nancy. He talks about Vince McMahon and how much of a fuckboy he is. And it's funny because as volatile, as gangster, and as ruthless as New Jack seemed to be, that man was always the consummate fucking professional.
Well, except for the mass transit incident.
No, first of all, no. He was a professional even within that. But, oh boy.
He fucked up.
No, he did. Because, I mean, look, anybody knows wrestling and knows wrestling lore. If you're a new guy, you don't show up to a veteran accent like, yo, let me get some offense on you. And you damn sure don't tell him, yo, I want to bleed.
On your first show.
Well, listen. Everybody doesn't move the same way, but had I been an underage wrestler at 17 and my first match is against New Jack, I'm not telling him that I want to bleed. As a matter of fact, I'm not telling him shit. I'm not talking to him. If he wants to come talk to me, cool.
Cool. We'll go through whatever we gotta go through, and we'll go out
I'm
there.
not showing up mad cocky and
nah.
And not to mention, after all that happened, his father tried to attack New Jack, which means his father got fucked up too. But his father was trying to attack New Jack, calling him a nigga and all that. But
suspect move.
Watch that episode of Dark Side of the Ring too.
So yeah, as we wrap it up, man, this shit is just getting crazier and crazier.
Do I think Vince gets off? No.
I don't. I think he will take some damage here.
No.
How great a damage, I don't know.
But again, look, it's a question of realistically, where do they want to go? Because clearly, Vince McMahon. Actually, I didn't know this until I started listening and reading the shit. I didn't know this motherfucker owns 80% of the company. Now, first of all, that in itself is that's a fuck up. Nobody should ever own any more than 51% of any company.
Yep. And that's after his selling off of stock and shit like that. Still owns that much of the company.
But that's why he feels that's why he feels like he can do all that, behind the scenes, giving up money shit.
Yeah, who's gonna tell him shit? Niggas gotta keep their jobs. And I'm not saying that makes it okay. It's just that who's gonna tell him shit? But he can just replace you, no problem.
Really, to truly and accurately answer your question, Vince feels like this is the steroid case, but it's not. And you could tell that just by the way he's moving. But at the same time, he's gonna lose because sooner or later, him being who he is, that casts a dark shadow upon the company. So those who know what it is, they're gonna be like, all right, Vince, you can't be around anymore. Yeah, you were the face. And look, a lot of people who know business and who know, the stock market and marketing, Vince McMahon, he is the reason why they get a lot of these contracts. But that's because he's the one conducting a lot of this shit.
And moreover, companies, I don't want to say they don't care about his reputation or the things he's done or whatever, the culture of Vince McMahon.
They didn't. They didn't because nothing ever stuck.
And they could have plausible deniability about that. But
So it's not that they didn't care, it's just they didn't have a reason to
But what
care.
they also care about more than the fucked up shit that they have done, or that he has done with as the head of the company,
is his consistent cult-like following.
Exactly. So they only care about the audience. They only care about those 3 to 5 million people, whatever it is. It's not that, but like, you know, whoever's watching Raw every week or whatever,
Those lames.
the diehards,
Those
you know what I'm
lames
saying?
that show up to every fucking show.
And have been watching for 25 years or 30 years, however long it's gone.
Alright, we clearly don't include Griselda into that, but I mean, y'all niggas paying for shows. Come on.
And even he
Y'all niggas, what was that? What was they at? What was that? SummerSlam?
Yeah, there was also they also go to AEW too, like, so they're at least
Oh yeah. Conway, he was in front.
Yeah, Conway he be out here. Shout out to the fourth rope. Like he's a true mark. I appreciate that. And he complained famously. I mentioned this in another episode where he was like, "Yo, like you always shout out Wale and all these other dudes, and I'm out here in the front row styling. I'm a award-winning white hot artist. You promote Bad Bunny, you promote all these people, but you don't even say I'm at the show. You don't even fucking show me in the commercial. Nothing.
Ah, boy, you ain't mainstream.
Like I promote y'all like heavy.
Mainstream.
No, and I get that's what their look is on that, but you know.
Well, it's not even that he's not mainstream. He doesn't have
If he's Jack Harlow, do they care that he's there in the front row? You bet your ass they do.
Well, Jack Harlow has fucking KFC commercials.
There you go.
Nah, if Conway had if he had like at least like one track with I want to say Ariana Grande, but
something akin like.
Who's this chick? The Armenian. This bitch. If you don't wanna see me dancing with somebody, this fucking bitch. The Armenian one. Well, it'll come to me in a little bit,
But yeah, I get what you're trying to say, and yeah, that's true to some point. But again, they pushed Flo Rida to the goddamn moon, and I understand that he was a mark. I understand they fuck with him. I understand all that. I understand that he is a more mainstream success.
Well, first of all, Flo Rida, I would never consider him to be a true rapper anyway.
Yes, but I'm just saying that in that vein of like hip hop and R&B dudes who are marks, he's high up there. They always talk about him.
Not even hip hop and R&B dudes, just
music dudes in general. Even I would even say, because there's
anybody who has a name.
And I get it. Again, the corporate strategy is to just be like, all right, you're a brand, we're a brand. Shout out to you. But
I'm never against that, because if we're like, all right, especially for like WrestleMania, that's the true essence of WrestleMania.
Star power, yeah.
Star
Spectacle.
Power, but well, like the original WrestleMania. WrestleMania 3 is that's when we started getting those like, oh, we gotta have WrestleMania like esque matches, but we gotta have the star power, so on and so forth. That's why look, alright, Logan Paul signing to these niggas, that wasn't like news to me.
Me neither.
But I understood it.
Me too.
You know, Tyson Fury trying to do what he does.
Again, those guys fit the exact mold that I mentioned a couple minutes ago now. People who, yes, have a passing interest in wrestling or the E, at least in their brand, knowing that they can elevate their own brands as a result, and not needing to be a supremely good wrestler to do so.
No.
I'm not mad at that. Again, they fit the mold of the people that they want to hire now. What else is there gonna be? But we gotta kind of land this thing, because we'll talk forever. It's just circle talk, combos again and again. Anything you think I'm missing out on that I haven't covered about this? Any revelations that I glossed over maybe? Because I I haven't been like up to the minute on this. Like again, the 12 milli, I only found out about yesterday. Did that break or some shit like that? 2 days ago.
Yeah, a couple days ago. Well,
So
actually, that was sometime last week. But no, this is just merely a flashpoint based upon. I'm quite sure we touched upon this in earlier episodes, definitely in the Lost tapes. But I guess it's just not even funny or ironic that we're coming into this shit now, and again, I'll say it one more time. It will be beautiful, incredibly beautiful, to see Vince drop to his knees in agony. Agony, defeat, and misery.
Despair, especially. That's probably what I'm gonna title the episode. Vince must burn at the end of the world. I'm doing it.
Vince must burn.
Vince must burn. We're saving it. Book it. I booked it like Kevin Sullivan.
Fuck Kevin Sullivan.
Fuck Kevin Sullivan.
I love the Tree of Woe, but fuck Kevin Sullivan.
There niggas who could do it better.
Fuck Kevin Sullivan. Fuck Ole Anderson. Fuck Jim Hurd. Fuck the other lame that ran WCW back in the 90s. I won't say fuck Eric Bischoff. Fuck Vince Russo.
There we go. Tell them where they can find you at.
Well, once again, up until we create a bigger platform, I'm known as Bandit _ Light 7 on the gram that is Insta. You can hear a couple of beats, you can hear a couple of things on there, but at the same time, I'll see you as the dawn is rising.
And you can find me at Twitter, wellspring of hatred, rumors, up-to-date news, and pornography. At Shining Brizard. Not that I will cover those things on my account, but y'all know what it is if y'all on there. I'm at Shining Brizard, Shining _ or Shining Brizard. There's no underscore. Message me or tell me I'm dumb or whatever. Watch our shit. Do what you gotta do. Guys, gals, non-binary pals. It's been lovely talking to you again. We will be back. We will do this again very soon. Again, trying to be more consistent in this birthday summer season. Yeah, we didn't forget about that. It's still birthday season, fam. We'll see y'all next week. Peace.
It's not quite the season of the snake.